this video is the last one about myself building the news app, and it's all about animation and also how we make a timer and a percentage bar which then slowly moves from through and cycles through all the news articles for a category. We started this already in the last video. We continue this now in the next video to make it even look better with the animations. So let's go and start building this together. So let's now scroll through those items we done. Now we only see one item. Now we want to have, I want to say like 5 items. So how do I do that? So go to the top here. So we have done, we loaded this. Let's make it a bit nicer and just add, we show the spinner. Let's delete this one. So we add the spinner. So when it's loading, and then when loading is complete, we'll hide that spinner. So what we want to do is we want to delay first. So we want to delay for, let's say 500, half a second we want to delay. Then we're gonna want to go to the next record. So how do I do that? I can go to my set variable, and if I take my page variables, and I have my item index, so I have multiple ones, but I take my item index. So, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say I want to have my item, what I have +1. So we use a formula. We say item index, so page variable, item index, and I want to add 1, 2. After I've done that, I just want to check if I have no more, because I only want to have 5 of them. So well, let's max out by 5. So we'll create a if statement with a variable. So when the page variable item index is, let's say, greater than 4, because we start with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when it's greater than, then I'll set that one back to where it was. So we go set this one, we set it here. So if it's bigger than that, then back to 0. So it's like this kind of like loop. And then after I done the plus, so the picture's changed. If it's false, I go here, I wait for another half a second, and the same one here, I wait for another half a second, and then you will see again it changed to the next picture. So let's check when I click on entertainment. You see it loads, but it goes really quickly, but you can see the idea changes every time, like from a different story to another story, and so it goes around. So let me go a different one. So let's do, for example, sports. You can see here now it goes really nicely, quickly through. It's too quick, but I think the idea is clear. Let's slow it down so I actually can read this now. So let's, before we hide this spinner and set the variable, we have a delay. We go, so let's just before we do this, let's just create a little table first. So we're going to set the page variable. So that's the page variable. We put it there between, and what we want to do is to fill that table we have created, so which is called items, and we want to fill them. So the best way to fill them is what we call a map. So we're gonna transform each item into a list. So press enter. So we need to have a list. Now we're gonna generate a list. We're gonna generate a range, and we're gonna create in total 5 of them. So that's how we have 5. And then what we're gonna create in that list, we're gonna use the index, and the index is equal to the index. Yeah, so you can see now index 0, index 1, index 2. And the next step we're going to create in this table is the percentage. So per percentage. And again, but all of them we're going to set to 0. There we go. And the result is, like in this case, I'm going to create 5. Actually, let's create 4 of them, which makes them 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 5 of them. And then we see the outcome here. As you can see, like index 1, index 2. So a little table we generate now. So let's save that one. And we hide the spinner, so we have this now. And now when we go back, we can set this one. We're gonna now make this one go to block, and we're gonna repeat this one with the table we had created, which is page variable. And now you can see this like 4. It's not really clear, so let's just make it a bit clear, is by putting some left. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And now on the top you see this 5 little blocks what I've created using the table. So by generating a little internal table, or a little table, which makes them have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these blocks. Let's slowly fill those timer builds. So how do I do that? So we go back to here. So after we hide, we're gonna now, first thing we do is we're gonna set the page variable. In front of here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the percentage variable. So we're going to now add to use a formula, and we're going to say page variable percentage plus 10. So every half a second add 10 to the percentage. Okay. Move this all a bit away, and we're gonna just remove this one. Then we're gonna check, do another if statement. together. Now we're going to check if the page variable percentage is greater than 100. So if one of those little blocks is filled, then I need to go to the next blocks. So we go to the next block. Delete this one. And we use the, where's the percentage, and we send duplicate this one. So just take this one because it's a bit confusing now. So let's move this one, and we'll add this one, and we'll put the static text here, and we put this back to 0. You can see here. So we add one to it. So we add one, and this percentage, when you're going to go like this, it's going to first need to go back to 0 again, because then it's going to go up again. Then if we have everywhere again, then the next step is to, so we've done everything, we're at the end of the thing, we're going back to the front again. So first of all, we would like to set everything, we would start at the beginning again. So where is the +1? This one. We want to go back to the beginning again. And the beginning in this case is, go back here, static number, we go back to 0. And at the same time I want to regenerate my whole table again, make sure everything is back to 0 again. So I do duplicate this one, and this sets everything just back to 0 again. So that's that bit here. So now we set another page variable, which is, oh, where's my page variable? And the page variable will be the item index. And now I want to set the percentage. For example, I want the percentage for this one. So every half a second I want to set the percentage here. Percentage. So how do I do that? So it's item index. So again, I make myself a formula, and the formula starts with set item add. Then is the list. So the list is page variables is item. So that's the list. Which index? So the index is the item index, which is this one here. And I want to set the key, and to set the key we have a nice set key. So the object is the item, the property name, so which one do I want to change? In this case it's var percentage. I don't want to change the index, I only want to change the, and the value needs to go to page variable percentage. And then see, it says an arrow, so the arrow means that there's a problem, and the problem in this case is this bit here. Actually, I need to do a table, so it's the items table I want to change. You can see here now it's percentage now. And the reason why it says num type, this is a good error messages to go to. So it says error, and the reason why it's error, it's because I didn't choose the right one here. If I now do save here, and now you can see it's nicely, so it does everything. It does so at the particular index, set the key percentage to that percentage number. So let's save that one. Save the code. We have to make sure. So now we just make sure we connect the dots, and that is, if that's not the case, I want to do this. If this is not the case, I want to go here. Delete this one. This one goes back. To here. And the same as this one. And this is a bit where you have to do a bit. It fits on one page. In this case it doesn't, so I just need to move this one here. And now I'm able to connect these as well. So the last thing I need to do is to make sure that it then moves. So we go to the background here. We use go to the background, and now we're gonna set the custom width. The width will be driven by that percentage. So how do we do that? We can create a function, and the function will be so it's repeated items, and then it's the percentage, and then we do plus, and we make a percentage out of them. So now we can see here, now it nicely translates into a percentage. We press save, and now we have done this automatically, and we press save. We now click on, let's do quickly a refresh, and now let's click on entertainment. You can really see a bit here, and then it changes, slowly moves this to the next one. You can see it slowly. Let's do sports, for example. Again, it slowly moves, little percentage signal here to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And now the finishing touches is, let's do a nice animation, which is not here, so we need to go to the marketplace, we need to look for animate. Animate component, we then do animate, we put it between here, we'll delete that one, we put the animation between. And which one we're going to choose is the container content. So we want to animate this whole box here, the whole one, so including all the text, everything we want to animate. We want to slide in from the right, slide in right, and let's make it quickly. So let's do 250 milliseconds, and we'll do normal and ease out, ease in, out, and we only do that once. And I just want to make the animation or this a bit more visible, and we can do that quite quickly just by edit this one, and let's make it blue, and let's save. Let's look a quick look at our finished product now, or it's not really finished, but at least it gives a good idea. So we have our normal kind of like articles, new articles, and then we have also have categories. So we can scroll here, we can get the category. So let's take the sport. Now you can see slowly how the little timer goes. You can read your article, and then it scrolls on to the next article, to the next article, etc., etc. So now we have completed the news app. I hope you found it interesting and you learned something. If you have some comments or questions about about the build of the application, please leave them below in the comments. Otherwise, also if you want to see me build another app, please also leave it in the comments. If you like more of these videos, please subscribe. If you like this video, press the like button. The only thing I can say now, stay curious.